Well, now that I have your attention, we'll talk about those little green blobs, or as they're more commonly known as, dry microbursts. Now I'll start by taking a look at a couple of radar images. First, this one, you can see a lot of bright colors there. Obviously you'd think, no, this is a pretty good thunderstorm. It was producing some rather large hail. Now take a look at this radar image. There's a couple of little green dots out there, probably not producing much. You'll think it'll pass by, it's maybe produce a very light shower, then move on. Now sometimes they do, but in the right circumstances, they could produce some very strong wind gusts. Now how do we forecast this? Take a look at this. This is what meteorologists call a skew T. This was taken June 5th morning here at Riverton. And notice at the bottom there, you see how there's kind of a triangle at the bottom, how it spreads out like this? This is what meteorologists call an inverted V signature. Now what this indicates, very dry air at the surface. You can tell the line on the right that goes down, that's temperature, and dew points on the left, how much moisture there is. Where those lines almost meet, that's the cloud base. Now it's a pretty high cloud base. That indicates any clouds that form will be pretty high up in the sky. Now if any precipitation falls out of those clouds, it's probably not going to reach the ground. However, the wind might. You may ask, how does it do this? Well, what happens is, it'll form, it's a dry thunderstorm. You will see precipitation fall out of it, but it'll evaporate before it hits the ground. And the thing is, cool air is actually a lot heavier than warm air. Sometimes when you open up your refrigerator, you'll sometimes see the cold air come out and pool down around your feet. That's the same concept there. When it comes down, it accelerates, comes down, and then when it hits the ground, it spreads out in all directions. You can get some very strong wind gusts. As a matter of fact, the day we took that skew T diagram, there was a wind gust of 71 miles per hour from a little shower. Now the only sign you might see is maybe some dust getting kicked up by the wind. And when you take a look at this video right here, this is actually shot outside our office. You can see this is a virga shower with that precipitation not reaching the ground. But you can see that dust getting kicked up right there. Yeah, there were pretty good winds with this. It was pretty windy at the office when we took this. Now, there weren't any weather observations out where this happened, so I'm not sure how strong the winds were blowing, but probably some pretty good wind gusts out of this, seeing how much dust is getting kicked up there. So obviously, if you see dust coming out of these, you may want to take shelter like this, because you could see some very strong winds, and they could come up on you without much warning. I hope you enjoyed this little weather lesson. Be safe, everybody. Well, now that I have your attention, we'll go into the more technical part of this talk. And it's what we call...